Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew. Today we're taking a look at some best action figures from the loyal subjects. And no, I'm not saying best because they are the best, although they could be, but that's the name of the loyal subjects 5-inch action figure line. And we're taking a look at their TMNT line, which they've had a great amount of success with, and it's continuing right now in their latest wave, which includes this figure we're looking at today. This, folks, is Slash. Slash first debuted in Slash, the evil turtle from Dimension X, back in, I think, season 3 or 4 of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. He showed up, I believe, 3 times as a whole in the series, but for me, I really fell in love with the character when I saw him in the Archie comic, where he looked a lot different than this, and NECA did a version of that, which maybe we'll look at in another day. But yeah, Slash was always a really interesting character, and just visually a lot of fun to look at, and he made for a great action figure. And so that's what we're going to be taking a look at today, is the Loyal Subjects Best Action version of this evil turtle from Dimension X. I'm not going to linger too much here on the packaging, just to give you guys a quick look at how it looks though. It's very simple. Simple box, nice big window in there so you can see everything this toy comes with, and that is a pretty fair amount of accessories. We also have a fun cartoon image of Slash on one side, which is him in action. And the back of the box has a very short bio explaining the origins of Slash, as well as giving us a look at this character and some of the accessories that he comes with. And that's, to be fair, a pretty good amount of accessories. It also lets us know this figure has 31 points of articulation, which we know for a fact Best Action is pretty good with articulation, so I'm hoping there's no problems here with this one. Now you might notice something a little bit different about this toy here, and that's because, well, you can see on this image here, he's glowing in the dark. Well, it turns out that there are 2 variants in this wave of Turtles figures. Slash is one of those variants. So there's a normal green Slash, and then there is a glow-in-the-dark version of Slash, and that's what we have today. So I cannot wait to test out that feature, because I always loved glow-in-the-dark toys as a kid, and let's face it, I still do, if not more, as an adult. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get our turtle out of Dimension X, which I guess we'll call this packaging, and take a closer look at Slash from all angles. Alright, and here is our Slash figure now out of the packaging. And initial thoughts are, this is a really good looking version of Slash. You know, I actually went back before I did this review and I watched his appearances in the original Turtles cartoon just to get some more information about him and kind of just remember who he was like more so, because again, most of my thoughts about the character really were influenced by the Archie comics more than the cartoon. And to be quite honest, I kind of think I did prefer Slash in the comics way more after watching the cartoon again, but he's still a really fun character and such a cool design also. Now, I do want to point out right now for this review, you're going to probably see me leaning Slash a lot on this backdrop here, and that's because, unfortunately, Slash does not have any like peg holes for his feet for bases, and he is a turtle, so he's very, very back heavy. So it's a little difficult to keep him standing, especially because, to be fair, the table I'm doing this review on is a little uneven also. This backdrop here, it's a little uneven. So I believe on a flatter surface, you're going to have a much easier time getting Slash to stand and stay standing. But do keep in mind, because of the weight of this shell, he will have some issues. So you're going to have to do a little bit of work to keep him standing. But initial thoughts, though, again, it's like looking at Loyal Subjects figures, it's just such a treat. They've got so much great articulation, so much great sculpting detail, lots of accessories now. And this one is really just like all the others, and that's a very, very good thing. So let's start this video first by talking about the likeness of Slash here. And does it look like Slash from the cartoon? Yeah, totally it does. This doesn't look like Slash from the toys. The toys were, well, frankly, a lot cooler version of Slash in the cartoon than he was here. But as far as like the cartoon look goes, this is spot on. They nailed it. I'd say they did just as good of a job as NECA did, if not maybe a little bit better. You know, it's kind of hard to compare because they are different sized figures, different types of work essentially. But I really like what the Loyal Subjects did here with this version of Slash. I also appreciate all the little warts they sculpted onto his face, which is cool. I like how his teeth look. Of course, I like the little metal bandana thing for his eye. It's really cool. So he looks perfect. And I could say the same thing too about his body as well. You know, I think even the way the body looks is pretty much just like pulled straight from the cartoon here. So really no complaints about any of that. In fact, if we want to like take a little bit closer look at the body too, let's do that. We can show off his really cool Slash shoulder pads. He has, of course, the black elbow pads. We have the nice metallic armor on his hand as well. Looks like Slash is giving a thumbs up right now. Shouldn't be, but he is. I've always loved the belt buckle that they gave Slash with a skull on it. That's such a fun little thing. This is just stuff that basically Bebop and Rocksteady found around the Terrordrome. They just like threw it onto Slash. So it's kind of impressive they found all this random crap to just fit him perfectly. But they did somehow. Same thing too with the pointy knee pads. Great work here. Also, those feet are really, really cool too. I just like the way the feet look. Body-wise too, you know, he is a turtle. He is a giant turtle. He's a giant turtle from Dimension X. But, you know, the body, the shell part here looks really nice. The color is also very good. Now, I should add too, since this is a glow-in-the-dark version, the skin tone on the Slash is going to probably be a little bit different than the skin tone on the normal release. I think the normal release is probably going to be a more deeper shade of green. This one has to glow in the dark, so it's going to look a little bit different. And we'll show you how the glow in the dark looks a little bit later on, I think. But for the most part, just great all around. Man, and let's talk about that back too, because I showed you that earlier, talking about how it was the bane of his ability to stand up straight. But that back is awesome too. That shell is like so cool. It's spiky, great texture all around it, very clean, even paint job. That's another thing too. If you want to talk about all of the Loyal Subjects figures, they do not have problems with paint, you guys. Spot on. Like, I don't see any slop really anywhere. If there is, it's like the most minimal amount. Even in like the joints, where that would be an easy spot to have some of that, don't really see that issue. So across the board, just excellent job, you know. Let's talk also about articulation, since we're up close and personal with Slash right now, and he supposedly has 31 points of articulation. Let's find out right now. Let's take Slash to a chiropractic session right now, and there we go. Okay. I was wondering if his neck was gonna like make a nice snapping noise like a Diamond Select figure did, but it does not. So head is ball jointed but extremely stiff. So get yourself a hair dryer, folks. You're gonna wanna get that a little heated up before you do much with it. The rest of the joints seem to be actually fairly malleable though. Let's see, like, yeah, so we have ball jointed shoulder, which looks like it has a butterfly joint in there. Yeah, you guys can see it right there as a butterfly joint. But he does have this turtle shell, so it's gonna hinder a little bit of that articulation towards his body, but out of the body, okay, the shell is actually what's going to cause a little bit of problems moving him beyond that. So the butterfly joint's almost kind of not needed here, but it will add a little bit of articulation, so that's nice. We do have the bicep swivel and double jointed elbows, so that's really nice. So he'll be able to hold the gun in some cool poses, hopefully. The wrists can bend and flex, that's great. No waist articulation to speak of because he has this turtle shell here. The legs have not great range of motion. That's again because he does have this giant shell in the way, so you know you can't expect much from it. Thigh cut, so we got some leg rotation there, double jointed knees and ankle rotation. So I don't know about 31. It definitely has the makings to get that amount of posability and articulation, but he does have a few hindrances that'll get in the way. So I got Slash to stand up right now. I feel very lucky, and I'm so afraid to move anything, but unfortunately I kind of have to. So let's slide Slash down for a second and pray that he can stay standing. He is. Cool. See, I told you guys. You gotta just find a flat surface, he'll be fine. So every Best Action figure comes with a Best Action sticker, and there's a lot of different variations of them, as you'll see throughout the videos of the Turtles. So we got ourselves a Best Action sticker. It's a nice little free bonus. And speaking of other cool extra value free bonuses, we got a trading card. And this is a great trading card, you guys. There's not many companies out there doing trading cards for action figures anymore. McFarlane is the only one I can think of. And to be honest, those cards kind of suck. They suck a lot. But these Best Action cards are really good. Like the ones they did for the Avatar figures we looked at a little while ago were pretty good. These, though, are a step above. I mean, this is like the perfect 90s trading card. Just like the random kind of foil chrome look on it. Great image of the character as well. And then in the back too, even. Again, it's basically just showing us what we saw in the back of the box of the figure. But again, you get ourselves a nice bio, a picture of the figure glowing in the dark also. So great card, excellent card here. I'm excited to see how the rest of them are going to look throughout this series. And I just got to again go back to this gimmick of how like shiny and chrome it is. Like that's perfect. Love this look. Great, great. All right, cool. So that's the cards and the stickers. But let's talk about some of the weaponry he has, because Slash has a bunch. That includes this giant backpack right here, which, to be fair, I never quite understood what it did, even in the cartoon when he used it. This was from his second appearance in the show when he got like all smart and high-tech briefly. So he has this giant backpack, which, let's see if we can put it on our Slash right now, in fact. Let's see. Get the arm out. You can actually see there's some scratch marks in the back of it. There we go. Okay. It actually does kind of like fit right around his shell. So he was actually basically designed to wear this. Now, I don't know how it's going to keep him from standing now, unfortunately, because it is going to probably make him a little bit harder to balance. But we'll see what we can do here with this Slash. So in addition to this backpack here, we have two other weapons for him. We have this laser blaster pistol thing here. I don't quite remember what this was called. Because again, I think this was from the second appearance that Slash made. So we have a smaller kind of blaster, which will fit in his hand. We'll check momentarily. And then we also have this larger one here. This one, I think, like shot wind and snow for some reason, because, you know, every bad guy needs a thing that shoots wind and snow. But, you know, great choices for accessories here. I like what they did. But what we can note, it's missing from the weapons right away, is Slash's dual katanas. Because Slash did have 2 swords, but in addition to the 2 swords, he also is missing his binky. His binky, which is his little palm tree, his little plastic palm tree that Bebop said he loved so much. And unfortunately, we don't get it here. Now, NECA did include it, so if you want a binky, that's going to be really the only way to get it, I guess, right now. But yeah, this Slash does not include his swords or his little binky, but it does give us some weapons I don't think NECA gave us. So at least that's something to kind of consider a swap out for. And we also have 2 additional hands here, which I don't think we're going to really need to try on today. And I've tried in the past. The hands do come out very easily. They go in and out super smoothly. But he already has his trigger hands on, so I kind of just want to see if we can get some of these in his... Oh, let's actually, you know what, we'll do a swap out, because I think that singular blaster requires this hand here. And you guys saw how easy that popped out. And this hand should go back in just as easily. It's a little hard to do it on camera, but there we go. And now we should just be able to slide this blaster pistol thing. It's gonna be a very firm grip, but there we go. Okay, that's okay. That's pretty much in there. I will say this backpack thing is kind of sliding around him. I'm wondering if there's like a certain way to get it to fit in him better, because there are like little holes in the back. So I don't know if that's meant to attach to any specific shell marks, because it feels like it is as I play with it a little bit. But this strap is so huge, it's hard to really say what to do with this thing. But either way, as far as the blaster goes in his hand, it's looking really nice there. So that was easy too. Let's try now to get the other one in his hand here, because this has got 2 handles. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but let's find out. And again, thanks to that double jointed elbow and the butterfly joints, which even if they can't move a ton, they still move enough that should be able to get this in his hand to make it look like he actually is holding it. And there we go. With a little bit of work, you can get it into his hands, and he is holding some other blaster. You can definitely get it into his hand better than I have it here, but just to, you know, show it for the sake of getting on camera really quickly, there you go. So yeah, the one downside though is this stupid backpack. Unfortunately, it is sliding down so much because that strap is enormous, so I'd probably just do without it. But at least we know we can get all the accessories into his hands. So personally for me, I prefer the blaster in his hand, but yeah, I'm gonna take this backpack off, unfortunately. Yeah, I can't quite get it to stay on the way I want it to stay. If you guys at home have this and know any better ways to get it onto him, though, please do let me know in the comments, because I'd love to hear. Definitely could use any input you guys have or any advice about that. But as far as our Slash goes, I mean, this is a really solid figure. I'm really digging this one. It's a great version of Slash. Are there better ones out there? Debatable, but honestly, I think that every version of Slash is great. From any iteration of Slash too, because there's been Slash in different cartoons as well, and I don't really think there's a bad version. This one, again, very excellent version, and I definitely can give it a recommend. So if you want to pick up the Slash for yourself, go ahead and check out my Amazon affiliate links. I'm going to have links for where you can pick them up. And if you use that link, it helps support this YouTube channel at no extra cost to you. But otherwise, definitely high recommend across the board. Great detail, great paint job. Everything about him is a knockout. And now before we wrap up this review, let me do one last thing, and I'll show you how the glow-in-the-dark feature looks. So it's been about 2 days since I filmed what you already saw, and I've been spending 2 days trying to get Slash to glow correctly. So you guys can see right now, you'll notice this part of his shoulder looks a little different compared to the rest of him. That's pretty much been the only part of him I've really been able to have much of a glow with. So I'm going to put him in my closet right now. We'll see if he does anything, but so far it's been a little lackluster, to say the least. Alright, lights off. You can already see a little bit of glow. Let's put him in the closet, and there is... Okay, so we do have some action in the foot. We do have a little in that shoulder. It's actually a lot in that shoulder. But unfortunately, the rest of the body's still not quite there. So I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, you can see the part that's glowing is pretty great, but the rest of his body just is not going with him. So I might do another experiment just to see if we can get him any better, but currently this is how the light-up feature is looking, and it's not the most exciting. Alright, we're trying this again. I've now had him this time, instead of sitting in natural sunlight, I've tried it with just, you know, home electronics, LED light bulbs. So let's see how this works in the dark now. And just absolutely nothing at all this time. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here, why we're having such problems with this. You know, I don't know how often Best Action has done glow-in-the-dark stuff, but, well, this seems like there's some room for improvement here. So, well, I will do my best to try and update you guys in the future as I try to get this thing to glow in the dark, but if you're buying it for that feature, you might be buying it for the wrong reasons. So let's get back to the review and conclude this video. So that's the glow in the dark, and that's our Slash. So again, thank you guys for watching. I'm Matthew. This has been Nerd News Today, and until next time, kick some shell.